Good evening and welcome to the September 21st, 2020 meeting of the Hyde Park Town Board. Deputy Supervisor Neil Krupnick. I'm filling in for Supervisor Aileen Rohr, who is unable to attend. We were experiencing some technical difficulties, and so we're not able to live stream to YouTube, but we will have this up on YouTube, and it'll be rebroadcast on Channel 22. Tonight's meeting is once again being held remotely in accordance with New York State Governor's Executive Order 202.6. And now I will ask everyone to please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Can I get a motion to accept the minutes of our August 31st meeting?
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Donna, do we have any public comments in regard to any of the resolutions or any letters from the public?
Not for resolutions. I have one for a public hearing
Okay.
for the ATV.
Okay. So we can move on to the public hearings then, because it's well past 6:05, thanks to our technical difficulties. So I need a motion to reopen the public hearing for Local Law C, which is the local law to enact certain amendments to Chapter 108 zoning of the Code of the Town of Hyde Park to create a new zoning district entitled Town Core, and revising the zoning Chapter 108 to rename Town Center Historic District the Corridor Business Zoning District.
Make a motion.
A second.
Okay. So Don, we don't have any public comments for the Town Core?
I do not.
Okay, and there's nobody in the waiting room who needs to speak. So with that, Warren, we can close the public hearing, correct?
Yeah, why don't I just briefly summarize where we're at before
Sure.
This local law has been in a long time in the making. The town board determined that in order to implement the objectives expressed in the town's comprehensive plan the Hyde Park Town Board pedestrian study and supplemental planning memorandum called the Town Center Vision. And in order to revitalize and develop the area generally surrounding the intersection of Pinewoods Road and Albany Road, Route 9G, a new town core zoning district was created. The town retained the services of a consulting planner who had drafted for us the new town core zoning district local law. And a zoning district design and development standards, and a supplemental memorandum entitled Town Center Vision, which all three were to be adopted at the same time by the town board. We held several meetings on this local law and received a lot of public input, and as a result of that input, and also recommendations of county planning and our own planning board, we revised the law several times, and the last version of the law had one additional change that we made to it, and we made that change, it's a minor change, in that we amended the schedule of use regulations to indicate that in the town's historic overlay district and scenic overlay district, the uses allowed by right, by special use permit, or otherwise in those districts are the same as those overlay districts. So we made that one last additional change to the law, and you now have, board members have on their desk the law and the associated documents in final form. And we are, with no additional public comments, we are prepared to close the public hearing and accept further comments for a period of 10 days and adjourn the consideration of the local law to the October 5th meeting. I will also at that time finish up the seeker review of the local law.
Written comments can come in until October 1st, and they should be sent to our town clerk, Donna McGrogan, at dmcgrogan@hydeparkny.us. And they could also send actual snail mail as well, right, Donna?
Yes.
Okay. So do we have a motion to close this public hearing?
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay. Next, we have local law D, which is the continuation of the public hearing on local law D of 2020, entitled "A Local Law Regulating the Use of All-Terrain Vehicles in the Residential Areas of the Town of Hyde Park." Can I get a motion to reopen this public hearing?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. And I apologize for the sunshine. It's distracting me. I'm sure it's distracting everybody else. Donna, do we have any public comments?
I do. I have one. My name is David Schwartz, and my home is at 176 Cream Street. Again, I'd like to express my support of the board in addressing this long-standing issue and problem in Hyde Park. It appears that the revised proposal reduces the setback requirements to 500 feet from a neighbor's home rather than 1,000 feet. I would point out that ATV noise can carry much further than 1,000 feet depending on the terrain. My house is located over 1,000 feet from nearby ATV trails, and when they are out, they're loud. That being said, I understand the board's desire to reach a fair compromise between the ATVers and the neighbors and respect your decision. At the last hearing, it was mentioned that disagreements could be handled through neighbor-to-neighbor cooperation. I like this idea, but unfortunately, it works better in theory than it does in practice. When I bought my property 25 years ago, I had a big problem with trespassing ATVs and was determined to stop it without involving the police. It took almost 3 years of persistent effort. Many times I was cursed at, threatened, given the finger by speeding ATVers. This is not something I want to go through again, and my guess is that asking neighbors to limit riding on their own property would meet an even less friendly response. Also, at the last hearing, it was pointed out that the majority of issues originate with neighbor complaints about noise. If every local ATV owner used a muffler that meets or exceeds standards as required in this proposal, a lot of this problem could resolve itself. Homeowners don't want to take away ATVers' right to enjoy their property. We simply want the right to peacefully enjoy our own. Sincerely, David Schwartz.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
And we did have a very robust public hearing on the ATV law, and we had a lot of great comments, both pro and con. And I think that we took those to heart. And I think we made a lot of good tweaks to the law. And I know that not everybody's going to be happy, but I think that's always the way these things go.
It's a good compromise. It really is.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Basically, since we amended the law, we're going to need a motion to continue the public hearing. This is correct, right, Warren? Because we'll be
we
basically
did make
approving the new amended law. So
the law is substantially amended, and I think for the better. I think the product we have now is certainly not going to make everybody happy, but I think it'll go a long way towards addressing a lot of the issues that were raised by ATV users and other members of the public, while providing protection and enforcement mechanism for our police. So we do have to continue the public hearing to the next meeting because we are considering now an amended local law, and that would be to the October 5th meeting.
Okay.
And we're hoping that we could close the public hearing on that date and take public comment for 10 days after that and enact the law or vote on the law at the next meeting after that.
Right, which is October 19th.
Right.
Okay, so do I have a motion to continue the public hearing till October
Make that
5th?
motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay. And our last public hearing is a continuation of local law E, which is entitled "A Local Law to Establish a Community Choice Aggregation Energy Program in the Town of Hyde Park." Can I get a motion to reopen that public hearing?
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
And Donna, we don't have any public comment, correct?
No.
and there's nobody in the waiting room. This just to explain, this is going to be an ongoing process as the people involved with setting up the community choice aggregation continue to educate all of us and the town, et cetera. And so, Warren, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but we just continue to keep the public hearing open until we have all the information we need, right?
Yes, that's correct. And there are several other things we'll have to do even after the local law is adopted, but this would be the first stop.
Okay, great. So we need to have a motion to keep the public hearing open.
Make a motion?
I'll second it.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, so we can move on to the resolutions.
And we're going to keep that open, and that's going to be until the 5th, right? October 5th?
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And members of the public can continue to submit written comments.
There's got to be a place where there's no sun. Okay,
Your bathroom.
yeah. This is a good problem to have, right?
No doubt.
Okay, so just to confirm, I am not reading resolutions, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay. Resolution 921-1 of 2020. Resolution accepting recommended local law, town core design and development standards, and continuing local law adoption process for local law C of the year 2020, now entitled A Local Law to Enact Certain Amendments to the Chapter 108 zoning of the Code of the Town of Hyde Park and create a new zoning district entitled Town Core, and revising the zoning Chapter 108 to rename Town Center Historic District the Corridor Business Zoning District.
Second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Okay.
Okay, Resolution 821-2 of 2020, resolution accepting revised local law D of the year 2020 entitled "The Local Law Regulating the Use of All-Terrain Vehicles in the Residential Area of the Town of Hyde Park," and continuing the local law adoption process.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Resolution 921-3 of 2020, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for the Town of Hyde Park zoning administrator, Kathleen Moss.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Okay. Resolution 921-4 of 2020. Resolution approving budget revisions to the Town of Hyde Park budget for the period of August 2020, budget revisions number 2020-08.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay.
Resolution 921-5 of 2020, resolution approving budget revisions to the Town of Hyde Park budget for town expenses incurred on town finances due to the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic for the period of August 2020, budget revisions number 2020-08A.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Resolution 921-6 of 2020, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to award the Town of Hyde Park Highway Salt Dome Roof Repair Project to Transitional Builders Incorporated.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Okay. Resolution 921-7 of 2020. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an agreement between Hyde Park Baseball, Inc. and the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Department to provide a youth baseball and softball program for the residents of the Town of Hyde Park as part of the town's recreation program for the year 2020.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
Resolution 921-8 of 2020, Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an agreement between Hyde Park Soccer, Inc. and the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Department to provide a youth soccer program for the residents of the Town of Hyde Park as part of the town's recreation program for the year 2020.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Resolution 921-9 of 2020, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to waive the 30-day advance notice of a liquor license for the premises consumption for a Butchie's Barbecue Incorporated in the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay.
Okay. Resolution 921-10 of 2020. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to submit the 2020-2021 grant application for Justice Court Assistance Program, JCAP, grant for the Town of Hyde Park Justice Court.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Okay. So I think that does it for tonight's meeting.
Nice job. Nice job, Deputy.
Thank you.
Way to go, Neil.
I have
Yes.
one letter to read from the police, about the police department.
That'd be
Okay.
fantastic, Don.
Okay.
Okay. Dear police officers, I have been meaning to write this letter since 2013 when you helped change my life. To this day, every time I see a Hyde Park patrol car, I smile. One day while driving in 2013, I found myself at the hands of a, once again, intoxicated domestic partner. I knew all too well what the situation would escalate, even with me disengaging as best I could from the situation. In desperation, I pulled my vehicle into the parking lot of the Hyde Park Police Department and was met with a concerned and sympathetic officer who firmly, professionally, but compassionately dealt with my partner and made me feel safe. That incident put the wheels in motion for my new life. Now, 7 years later, I have a new country home, have met and married a wonderful man, and life is so totally different than before. In these crazy times where law enforcement does not get credit for what they do, I just wanted you to know what a difference you've made in my way of life. Don't lose faith. There are so many of us who know the importance of what you do every day. Thank you. Kind regards, a grateful Hyde Park citizen.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Very
What a
nice.
nice letter. A very nice letter.
Yes.
Thanks, Donna. Okay. On that positive note, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Okay. Good night,
Good
everyone.
night, everybody.
Good night, all.
Guys, thank you.
Be safe.
See everyone in a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
You too.
okay.